Welcome student. Here is the part 3rd of the lesson Lifeline of the National Economy, class 10th Geography. So first of all we'll discuss on the international trade. First of all we'll discuss in this part, that is international trade. So here the exchange of goods among the people, states and the countries is referred to as trade. What is trade? Exchange of goods among the people, states and countries. It is referred as trade. So the market is the place where such exchanges take place. Trade between two countries is called international trade. It may take place through the sea, air or land route. Means these are the three routes where international, with the help of these routes, sea, air and land routes, international trade takes place. While local trade is carried in the cities, towns and the villages, states level. That is, local trade is carried in the cities, towns and villages. State level trade is carried between two or more states. In state level, if the trade is state level, then it is carried to or between two or more states. Then advancement of international trade of a country is an index to the economic prosperity. Means it is the sign for economic prosperity. Which one is the sign? Advancement of international trade of the country, that becomes an index, that becomes the economic prosperity. It is therefore considered economic barometer for the country. Means international trade, that becomes the economic barometers for the country. Then as the resources are space bound, no country can survive without international trade. As the resources are space bound, then no country can survive without international trade. Export and import are the components of trade. Both these are the components of trade, export and import. The balance of trade of a country is difference. The balance of trade of a country is the difference between its export and import. When the value of export exceed the value of import, it is called the favorable balance of trade. Means value of export would be more than the value of import. Then that type of trade, international trade, is called the favorable balance of trade. If the import is less or import value is less comparing to the export value. On the contrary, if the value of import exceed the value of export, it is termed as the unfavorable balance of trade. So, unfavorable balance of trade means what? Unfavorable balance of trade means if the value of import is much more comparing to the value of export, then that becomes the unfavorable balance of trade. In India, India has trade relations with all the major trading blocs and all the geographical regions of the world. Among the commodities of export, whose share has been increasing over the last few years till 2004 and 5 are agriculture and the allied products, that is 2.53%. Means what is given here? The commodities of export. Among the commodities of export whose share has been increasing, export share has been increasing over the last few years till 2004 and 5, agriculture and allied products, and that is 2.53%. Ores and minerals. Ores and minerals, that is 9.12%. Gems and jewelry, that is 26.75%. And the chemical and the allied products, that is 24.45%. Then engineering goods, that is 35.6%, and petroleum products, that is 86.12%. Means this is the export and import about the quantity percentage. Then commodities that is exporting, then commodities imported to India include petroleum and petroleum products. Import quantity of the that include petroleum and petroleum products, that is 41.87%. Pearl and precious stones, that is 29.26%. And inorganic chemicals, importation of inorganic chemicals, they are 29.39%. Coal, then coke, then briquettes, that is 94.17%. Machinery, 12.56%. Bulk import as a group, bulk improves as a group register a growth according for the, that is growth accounting for the 39.09% total import. This group include fertilizers, 67.01%, and cereals, that is 25.23%, edible oil, that is 7.94%, and newsprint, it is 5.51%. International trade has undergone a sea change in the last 15 years. Exchange of commodities and goods have been superseded by the exchange of information and knowledge. India has emerged as a software giant. As the international level, India has emerged as a software giant at the international level, and it's earning a large foreign exchange. through the export of information technology. Then come to the tourism as a trade. Tourism as a trade. So here tourism in India has grown substantially over the last 3 decades. Foreign tourism arrival in the country witnessed an increase of 23.5% during the year 2004 as against the year 2003, thus contributing rupees 21.823 crore of the foreign exchange. And over the million foreign tourists visit India every year. More than 15 million people directly engage in the tourism industries. Tourism also promotes the national integration, provide support to the local handicraft and the cultural pursuit. It also helps in development of international understanding about our culture and the heritage. Foreign tourists visit India for the heritage tourism, ecotourism, adventure tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism, and the business tourism. Means these are the different purposes, ways for the tourism of the foreign or tourists from the foreign, that is international. Then Rajasthan, Goa, Jammu and Kashmir. Rajasthan, Goa, Jammu and Kashmir, and the temple towns of the South India are important destination. They are important destination of foreign tourists in India. Which are main destination for the foreign tourists in India? Rajasthan, Goa, Jammu, Kashmir, and the temple towns of the South India. These are most points for the attraction. There are vast potential of the tourism. There is vast potential of tourism development in the northeast states and the there is vast potential of the tourism development in northeastern state. Northeastern state में vast potentiality है for the tourism development, and the interior part of the Himalayas also they have potential for the development. But due to the strategic reason, these have been encouraged so far. However, there lies a bright future ahead for the upcoming industries. So there is bright opportunity. There is bright opportunity in upcoming years. Here is the end of this lesson. So some of the main questions now we'll discuss here related to the lesson. So here first question is that why is air transport more useful nowadays, or what are the advantage of this air transport? So air transport is useful in following way. First, it is a quickest mean of the transportation, needs no expenditure on the construction of air route. एयर रूट कंस्ट्रक्शन करने के लिए कोई भी एक्सपेंडिचर नहीं होता है, एंड दिस इज द क्विकेस्ट or fastest mean of transportation. Second point would be that it can cross the physical barriers like mountain, ocean and desert. It can cross the physical barriers. Which are these physical barriers? Mountain, oceans and desert. Third one, it has made remote areas like the Ladakh, Northeast India accessible to other part of India. It is useful for the transporting passengers. Then mails, food supplies and the commodities of the high values. So all this apart from this is it has become important from the defense point of view. So all these points are related to the air transport or advantage of the air transport or useful, why it is useful for nowadays. Then one of the question here is evaluate any three features of Golden Quadrilateral Superhighway. Golden Quadrilateral Superhighway. So Golden Quadrilateral Superhighway is an expressway national highway connecting Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata and has a total length 5,846 kilometers. So roadways will be operational in phases and expected to be completed soon. This will reduce the time and distance between the mega cities of India. मेगा सिटीज़ में जो डिस्टेंस होता है वो रिड्यूस होता है because of the golden quadrilateral super highway. So these are the points. Then another question, when was air transport nationalized in India? Which agency provide air services? So air transport was nationalized in 1953. On the operational side, the following provides air services: Indian Airlines, Alliance Air, there is subsidiary Indian Airlines, third private scheduled airlines and non-scheduled operations. Air India provides international air services. So here, what do you know about helicopter services? For which purpose it is used? So Pawan Hans Helicopter Limited provides helicopter services. These are used for Oil and Natural Gas Commission in its offshore operation, then inaccessible areas and difficult terrain like northeast Indian states, the interior part of the Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. The reasons which we have given or it is about the helicopter services, their utility. Next question is different between the transport and communication. So, transport include the means of sending goods and passenger from one place to another place. But in communication include different means of delivering messages. In communication, that is delivering messages. And in transport, that include the sending goods and passenger from one place to another place. Second difference, road, railways, waterways and airways are the different means of transport, and telegraph, telephone, radio, etc. are the main communication. Then another question related to this topic is important, and that one is uh, if efficient means of transport are prerequisite for the fast development. So it is true that without efficient means of the transport, no development can be made in the country. The goods and services cannot reach the buyer from the supplier at their own. Then third one, that is movement of goods and services from the supplier to buyer necessitates the need for transport. Then transport connect traders and consumers. Then so here is the end of this